you all are kind of dialed in on both ends.
Yeah, I think when we, like you said, when we pay attention to the details and we do the things that we talk about in the locker room and that we work on, we execute that on the floor. Especially tonight, we saw what the game looked like against the best team in the league. When we did those things and the stretches that we kind of got away from that, we also saw what it looked like then. And I think it just shows you got to be committed to doing those things for extended periods of time. You can't do it in stretches because the stretches that you don't do it, the game could, open up on you. And I thought in the second half that was pretty much what happened. And you were on the road playing from behind. It's a really good team. It's going to be tough.
I know you're only in for part of it, but I think you guys are up by 3 with like 6 minutes left in the third quarter. By the first minute of the fourth quarter, you're down 13. Just what do you feel like kind of happened in that stretch? Is that one of those stretches that you're kind of talking about where you let go of the rope a little bit?
Yeah, I think when we moving the ball, we trust in our offense and the actions, letting it develop and playing side to side to where teams have to make decisions and you putting them in vulnerable positions the way teams have done us. The play to be made, it reveals itself when you play that way and you trust. And when you don't, it's a little bit easier on the defense. And then, that's what leads to turnovers and tough shots, and just low quality possessions. And then a team like this, they feed off of that. They get a stop, they get a steal, they get out, they run, they hitting threes. And that's the game that they want to play. So I think during that stretch, we just kind of played into their hands, and that's what they do best. They run out, they get into the paint, they get the defense to get some help coming, and they kick it out, and they just shooting 3 after 3. And I thought each time that we got away from moving the ball side to side, taking care of the ball, playing for each other, they took advantage of it, and they hurt us, especially in that run.
What do you think about Pritchard to get loose tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before the game started. Like, we can't let him come in and, have that type of impact on the game. And he came out and had that type of impact on the game. Obviously, if you see the ball go in a couple times, you're going to feel different about it, And a guy like him, I've known him a long time since he was, like, in middle school growing up in West Lynn. So, he's a hard worker. He's a believer. And he's going to believe in himself even if he's missing shots. But you let him come in and get a couple clean looks and, get a layup or whatever, he's going to have that type of impact on the game, especially when he's done it for a team that's won a championship, So the belief is going to be there even more. So we talked about it, and we just didn't do a good enough job not allowing that to happen.
You guys don't always roll Brook into the post in the way that you guys did tonight. What do you like about that? And do you feel like that's something that on nights where teams play small, you guys can look to that going forward?
Yeah, I mean, if a team is playing small, I think definitely got to be willing to play a power game at times, not just for Brook to just try to score on a smaller guy every time, but it's going to cause some type of rotational reaction out of the defense. And when you execute right out of that, sometimes that can be your offense. You throw it in, they know that the guy is in a bad matchup. It's going to cause a double team, and they're going to be scrambling, and then it's up to us to play right out of that. So, I mean, tonight we was in that situation a couple times. Yeah.
I know Peyton did shake loose, but their starting unit, contested threes are at least not the type of looks they're used to. What did you like about the effort on the perimeter from all of you to make that a little tougher for them in the early going?
I just thought that they didn't do what they wanted. I thought our physicality, our pressure, our energy was just more like how it should be every night. That's what we got to do, and we got to present ourselves that way, and just make teams uncomfortable to start. And then that's when the game begins. It's like, all right, how are they going to deal with us being this way? The same way teams have kind of done it to us. And like I said, when we do that, we saw what the game looks like. We pretty much had control of the game in the moments that we did do those things. And when we kind of took a break or got tired or sometimes when you're doing so well, you get away from it because you think that it's just easy and it's just going to keep happening. And the moments that we did kind of go out there like that, they took advantage of it.
You mentioned
back to-
not letting them do what they wanted. Where do you fit into that at times, you think, at starting a game in terms of your defensively?
Today, I started on the ball. And just being on the ball, I started three-quarter court, just, not allowing them to push the ball up and start possessions early, put them up against the clock. Even if it's them getting it across half court at 19 seconds, 18 seconds, because they got to work to get it up a little bit. Now, one or two passes in, they up against the clock, it might be a little bit more, dominating the ball instead of them picking us apart, not allowing them to just initiate it as comfortably. So that was kind of my mentality coming into tonight, just kind of being up further up the floor, not letting them just walk into initiating the offense and having it easy. And I think it was a good way for us to start.
Going back to what you said about the belief, but applying it to your team, how do you have that belief when certain shots aren't falling or things aren't going your way?
I think that's something that we got to be better about. I think when it's going well, it looks like we believe. And I think we're a team overall that does believe. But I think the best teams, when it's good, when it's not good, when you're down, when you're up, they trust to continue to do the right thing on both sides of the ball. And we NBA players, this is what we do. I think we have a natural belief about us, about what we're capable of, especially a veteran team like us. But I think it's more of just trusting what's best for the team, even when it's not going great. That's what you see the best teams do. They did it tonight. I keep using them as an example. But we had control of the game, at a lot of different times, and they didn't change what they were doing. They just kept doing what they do, and we just got to be better about that.